All right, these are the first inside visuals that we're getting for you on your screens. In fact, this is from the BBC Delhi office. Now, just a few minutes ago, of course, we also had Gaurav Bhatia of the BJP reacting to these particular surveys that are being carried out. And these are, of course, the first visuals that we're getting for you on Mirror now. On your screens of the BBC Delhi office. Remember, it is also being carried out, the surveys in Mumbai as well. But just quickly talking about the reaction that did come in from BJP's Gaurav Bhatia, he has gone on to state that why should the BBC be scared if all the rules were followed? In fact, he said, be it any agency, if they're working in India, they need to be abiding by the laws. And if they don't have anything wrong, then they don't have to be afraid. But quickly shifting back to also the fact that these visuals that you see on your screens are from the Delhi BBC office. What we know so far is that the Bombay unit has roped in other departments. But in Delhi, the international wing of the IT department is carrying out these searches. And the teams, in fact, had reached at 10:30. My colleague Dharani is joining me from Chennai live on the broadcast. Dharani, good afternoon. Of course, we are seeing significant developments in terms of the BBC surveys being carried out in Mumbai and Delhi. But what can you tell us about where you're reporting from Chennai and what is happening so far?
Well, until this point in time, what we are given to understand is that no such survey is happening in the regional office here in Chennai. The BBC regional office that's being operated from Chennai is not having any such, IT survey happening. That is what we are given to understand. In fact, we tried contacting some of the employees from the Chennai office, but they are not ready to comment on this, IT survey at the moment. But they have confirmed us that there's nothing going on in their office. In fact, in Chennai, the BBC office is located in Srinagar, one of the prime locations, and so far there is no, survey. There's no IT officials that are present, inside this BBC office, BBC regional office in Chennai. That is what we are given to understand. But talking about this BBC documentary in general, the bigger picture as far as Chennai is concerned is that Chennai has been a city that has come across a lot of screenings. In fact, initially members belonging to the DYFI and the SFI, so they screened this documentary at multiple locations. In fact, a screening happened in the most famous Madras University too. The SFI students belonging to the Madras University, they had also arranged for the screening of the BBC documentary on 27th of January. And politically talking, the DMK's ally VCK, that is the Vidudalai Sirthigal Katchi, that political party had in fact gone ahead, gone a step ahead, and they had dubbed this whole BBC documentary in Tamil language, and they had screened this dubbed version of the documentary in their office premise. So that is of course going a step ahead. They have their local version of this BBC documentary. They created one. They gave Tamil subtitles and audios, and of course that documentary was screened in Vidudalai Sirthigal Katchi's office premise. So of course Chennai has come across a lot of screenings in the past 20 days almost. Yeah. So we'll have to see how the opposition is going to react to this this IT survey, especially the Vidudalai Sirthigal Katchi that dubbed this documentary. In fact, so we are waiting for some sort of reaction from their end. In fact, we have tried speaking to VCK chief Tirumavalavan also. So he is he told that he'll be his team told us that they'll be putting out a statement very soon. So of course we'll keep a track of what is going on in Chennai. But for the moment, no IT survey is happening in Chennai.
Right, Dharani, like you correctly pointed out, we're of course going to keep a close eye on that. But for the moment, thank you very much for joining us with those inputs from Chennai. Let me go across to Kolkata, where my colleague Adrija is joining me live on the broadcast. Let's try to understand what is currently happening in Kolkata. Adrija, very good afternoon to you. Like, of course, Dharani was pointing out, even though the fact that the BBC does have a digital wing, its regional office per se in the city, no survey so far. But what is happening in Kolkata, and where are you reporting from? Anything that you picked up that you can talk to us on the front of the IT surveys being conducted?
Well, so first of all, right now I'm standing in front of Presidency University. Now on multiple occasions, BBC's the documentary screening have taken place inside the campus. Right in front of the gate I am standing here, and also let me tell you that first time when the SFI students tried to screen the documentary, there was a case of power cut. A power cut was done in the entire campus, and therefore the screening was halted for a few hours in between. But of course they did continue to screen, and later on the second day of of screening. They had screened the entire documentary, that is the first and the second part of the documentary itself, and on various occasions in multiple campuses, not only in Presidency University but also in Calcutta University and other various university, the SFI and other student wings have arranged for this screening, and they have screened the documentary on multiple occasions. They have done mass screenings as well, where right on the road they have screened the documentary for the common people, not only the students but also the common people to watch. Yes, as you on coming to a second part of the question, that as you pointed out, as of now the offices of BBC that are present in Kolkata, no raids are going on, and but however raids have been going on in Mumbai and Delhi, but as of now, whatever office is present of the BBC in Kolkata, no raids. As of now, we yet have to see what goes on later on in the day, but as of now, the IT department is not conducting any raids in Kolkata. Over to you.
The latest on that. We'll of course keep coming back to you as well as Dharani to understand what is significantly taking place in terms of these BBC surveys. But what we can of course tell our viewers so far is that in terms of the BBC survey, in fact the visual that you're seeing on your screens as well is from the one that was conducted in Delhi. So those exclusive visual that you're getting on your screens, in fact just to talk about, the Bombay unit has roped in other departments, whereas in Delhi the international wing of the IT department is carrying out these searches. Now the teams, in fact, what we picked up so far has reached at 10:30. Now, apart from two places in Delhi and Mumbai, searches are being carried out at other places. But the matter in whole pertains to international taxation is what we've picked up so far. On the other hand, of course, the BJP's Gaurav Bhatia also did react on it, saying that once they, of course, did come to know that the BBC is being raided, while the opposition reactions are also coming out on the matter. But he went on to say that, be it any agency of working in India, they need to be able to abide by the laws in India. And if they haven't done anything wrong, then they don't need to be afraid about it and let the IT department basically do its work. In fact, he also went on to make some statements about the BBC. But coming back to these surveys that are being carried out, we are picking up that the department is looking at documents related to the business operations of the company and those related to its Indian arm. In fact, as a part of the survey, sources suggest that the income tax department only covers the business premises of a company and does not raid residences and other locations of its promoters as directors. Now, talking about this particular big story that we are tracking here on Mirror now, the breaking story that's coming in is that Tax Department sources on BBC office survey. Sources suggest that the BBC did not comply for years. Now, sources also have revealed that several notices have been issued to BBC, and it also suggests that BBC stayed defiant. So that's the big breaking development that is coming in. What we know so far is that in terms of this big breaking development, that the tax department sources have suggested on the BBC office survey that BBC did not comply for years. In fact, several notices were issued to BBC, and sources suggest that BBC stayed defiant in terms of the same. In fact, just talking about these IT searches as well, surveys, in fact, at Delhi and Mumbai offices of the BBC is a part of the tax evasion investigation. Now, the IT department, in fact, is looking at documents related to the business operations of the broadcaster, and those related to its Indian arm is what we know so far. According to sources, a team of at least 60 to 70 officers are involved in this particular survey. But to give us